Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to the next video for the next video of two more actors who passed away recently. Well, yeah, because the last one I did because they passed away not that long ago though. So, but I didn't want to make it. I said I didn't want to make it as all in one video for four actors. So, but the last one was about Graham Greene and Diane Ladd. Rest in peace to both of them. And then with now this one here. Now this one just recent passed away a couple days ago, and I like this guy too as well. So this one here first I'm talking about is Japanese actor Cary Hiroyuki uh, Ta- uh, Tagawa. Yeah, Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa. And I liked him. I of course knowing him I remember, as a lot of people probably would probably the role he's probably well known for though is when I remember when he started in the first Mortal Kombat movie from 1995, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson. He was Shang Tsung, the lead villain in the first Mortal Kombat movie. Shang Tsung, the one who wanted to rule the kingdoms while we're trying to win all 10 tournaments. Flawless victory. Yeah, Shang Tsung, yeah. And I liked him in Mortal Kombat. And then before that though, in 1993, he started another film which is too bad because I was not a fan of this movie though because it had two great actors. He started the film Rising Sun, starring Sean Connery and Wesley Snipes. And it was also based on a novel by Michael Crichton as well, you know. Sad to say though, I just was not a fan of that movie. Sad to say, despite I enjoy those actors, and it's based on a novel from Michael Crichton, you know. But regardless, I'll review that some other time and I'll explain why. But Cary, he was in that film, and he wasn't a bad guy in that. He was a good guy in it. Sadly, he died though, but but he was a good guy in that movie though, trying to help with Sean Connery and Wesley Snipes in their investigation, which they seemed like he was a guy who seemed like he was a murder suspect though, but it turns out he was innocent, and then later he tried to help, but then he died. And also, there's the scene where he was eating sushi off of naked women as well. So it has to be, yeah, it has to be like it is like a Jap. It is kind of like is it, yeah? Because I saw that also in Showdown Little Tokyo as well with Dolph Lundgren and Brendan Lee, where Brendan says we're gonna eat sushi off of naked women. So yeah, that's sometimes I think that has kind of like a some kind of a Japanese thing, but he was in that too, and he was also he was in Kickboxer 2. He was also in License to Kill, the James Bond film with Timothy Dalton. I also I like the two Timothy Dalton movies, License to Kill and The Living Daylights. But he was in License to Kill. I liked him in that one. Um Later he was also in The Phantom towards the end of the movie when they finally reached the location where this power would be. He was this well, I guess you say pirates though, but he was the leader of them in the Phantom, which I do like the Phantom with Billy Zane. Treat Williams he was fun chewing the scenery as the bad guy. Rest in peace to Treat Williams, who passed away a couple of years ago. And then he would start in John Carpenter's Vampires with James Woods. I like that film too. I enjoyed John Carpenter, but he was also in that film as well. Danger Zone, Top of the World. He was also he was also in Pearl Harbor for Michael Bay. Uh, Tim Burns' Planet of the Apes, and yeah, he had a small role at the beginning of the movie of in Elektra. The Marvel film Elektra with Jennifer Garner. That sucked, and it still sucks. Yeah, 2005. Yeah, so 20 years later, which I don't think I reviewed Elektra though, but I was if so. Yeah, 2005. 20 years later, that film still sucks. It's one of the worst Marvel movies I've seen. But regardless, so he was at the beginning of the movie as well. He was the head of the Hand, which later they do in the Marvel TV series, the Netflix TV series, Jessica Jones, I think, or was it Daredevil? I think it was Jessica Jones because the Hand was in it and it was being led by Sigourney Weaver. But here, though, in this movie, he was head of the Hand. But he was only in it for that pretty much, I think, for that one scene though. So even so though, but like even though he was in for one scene though, the Hand, Elektra still sucks though. And even not even him, even Jason Isaacs, he was only at the start of the movie too. He was a target of Elektra. Hey, it was cool to see Jason Isaacs though, but thankfully he was only in it at the start of it, so. But yeah. And then and then Cary, he also later starred in the huge box office flop 47 Ronin with Keanu Reeves. That was a huge one of the considered one of the biggest flops. Um yeah, he was in the direct to video sequel of The Man with the Iron Fists. I don't think I really wasn't big on that movie. That was one that Raza directed, which he also starred in, also with Russell Crowe, and Quentin Tarantino had a hand in it. But sadly, yeah, he passed away a few days ago. Which he had complications of a stroke. Sad to say, you know. That's sad. 75 years old. Too bad, you know. That's a shame because I liked him. Just I liked him in Mortal Kombat. He wasn't the problem in Rising Sun. Um, I forgot what I just forgot the other ones. I just said it right now. Yeah, the Phantom. Yeah, Pearl Harbor, 47 Ronin. But it was and also and License to Kill as well. So, but anyway, but you know, rest in peace to Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa. Yeah, so rest in peace to him. 75 years old. Shame. And the last one I'll be talking about, which he passed away on Halloween. Really enough, is French actor I always mispronounce his name, Takachi Techi Karo. As I always mispronounce his name because it's a French. Well, even though he was born in Istanbul, Turkey, though, but he's still considered as a French actor, though. Um, you would recognize the guy if you've seen him in the film, so because I remember him growing up when I saw him he was much younger with the beard. He was one of the main hunter in The Bear. The late 80s film The Bear, directed by Jean-Jacques Annaud. It was about this lone bear cub who lost a mother, and then they found this other bear basically adopted him. And among one of the hunters, there was these two hunters with these dogs. The one hunter, which you know, the famous, if you have the DVD cover, right? If you have it on DVD, it shows a picture of the bear, the adult bear, growling at Tcheky Karyo. You know, he's at the waterfall. You know, rinse himself off, and he's almost cowering like this. You probably have if you see it on if you have it on the DVD cover, you probably know what I'm talking about though. But yeah, there was that one scene where he's at the waterfall and the adult bear approaches him. He's growling at him, and he covers he's like this, you know. Yeah, so that was him back when he was young though, and also remember he was the main villain. He was the crooked cop in pretty much one of my second favorite Jet Li movie, Kiss of the Dragon. Yes, Kiss the Dragon. He was the crooked police captain, who was trying to have Bridget Fonda killed and same with Jet Li, and when by the end when he gives him the needle, Jet Li puts the needle in his neck. You know, he says, and when he tells him, "This is the kiss of the dragon," and Tugji goes, "Kiss my ass." Kiss the dragon. Kiss my ass. And then it's like Jelly tells him you're gonna bleed through your nose, your ears, and your even your eyes, and your sees up, and then you're gonna die. So yeah, I liked him in Kiss the Dragon. I also remember he was also in The Patriots with Mel Gibson. During the Revolutionary War movie with Mel Gibson, directed by Roland Emmerich. He was the leader of the. He was a Frenchman who was helping Mel Gibson aid in the Americans to help fight against the British. Yeah, so he was in that too. The Core, which I like that film. I think it's a bit of an underrated movie. The Core, with Aaron Eckhart, Hilary Swank, Stanley Tucci. So he was also in that film too. The Core, where they had to dive down into the center of the earth. The Core, hence the Core. And he was also in, I remember a long time ago, Disney's Operation Dumbo Drop with Danny Glover and the late Ray Liotta. Rest in peace to him. He was the guy where they gave him a lift on his boat, and so they were getting attacked on the river by the Vietnamese. And the scene where Bo Tat the elephant got sick on the boat, and but he was the guy who was driving the boat as well. And so yeah, Tcheky Karyo. Sorry, like I said, I mispronounced his name again. I liked him, and it's like I was like, oh really? He passed away, really? On Halloween, no less. Yeah, but I remember, yeah, because I liked him in Kiss the Dragon, The Core, The Bear. When he was younger, The Bear, and yeah, oh yeah, that's right. He was also in the James Bond film GoldenEye with Pierce Bronson. That's right. Yeah, the Bear. And then yeah, he was also in the Ridley Scott's Christopher Columbus movie 1492, Conquest of Paradise. Yeah, that was another huge flop as well. GoldenEye. That's right, the James Bond film. Yeah, and he was also in Michael Bay's The Bad Boys. Yeah, Bad Boys 1, which I enjoy that film. Bad Boys. Who was that one film? I know there was another one. Okay, yeah, he was in Taking Lives. That was one with Angelina Jolie and Ethan Hawke was the bad guy. And like I said, yeah, The Core, The Patriot. He was in The Messenger. Yeah, that's what it was. The French director Luc Besson, the director of of Leon the Professional. Yeah, so he was in The Messenger, the story of Joan of Arc. Yeah, I think that was the one that was with yeah, that was one with Mila Jovovich as well. So, and I think Dustin Hoffman was in it as well. But yeah, but he was in that film. That was the one I was looking for because he was in one of the movies with from French director Luc Besson, the guy who directed, like I said, Leon the Professional, Valerian, The Save a Thousand Planets, The Fifth Element. I enjoy. Lucy, I thought sucked. Lucy. To me, director Luc Besson, I think it was the one I enjoy was The Fifth Element and Leon the Professional. But he was in The Messenger, the story of Joan of Arc. So yeah, he's been in quite a few films. I enjoy him in. It's too bad he passed away. Sad to say, he passed away at the age of. He died from some type of cancer, I think. Yeah, he was 72. 72 years old. Yeah, he died of cancer. Didn't say what cancer, but just cancer. So that's a shame though. So sad to say, all these actors here. So which I didn't get around to talk about earlier. So, but I'm doing it now before I do like my usual the actors memoriam I do at the end of each year. I don't want to talk about it all of them. Otherwise, I'd rather get their own separate video first. You know. before I started listing all of them all in one video. So it's a shame. Yeah. So Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa, and then Takachi or Karo. Sorry if I mispronounced. Like, it's hard to pronounce like certain French names, you know. So, but both actors, to rest in peace to both of them, you know. So yeah. So first it was like it's Graham Greene, Diane Ladd, then afterwards it was Takachi Karo, and then the recent one a few days ago, Cary Hiroyuki Tagawa. But to rest in peace to all of them, you know. So more good actors. This kind of just sucks, you know. More good actors has passed away, so. But yeah. So that said, though, rest in peace to both of them, as well as the other two as well. So thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you on the next video and more to come, and we'll see you next time. Later.